Coding.
Hello, guys. Welcome back to Life's Deceit with your girl, me, Jen Simpson. How are you guys doing? How was your day? How was your weekend? How was your week? Guys, to my Canadians, are you in Canada? Today was freezing. I am absolutely cold. I am so cold. I was wearing my hoodie like this in my office today. I was like, oh my God, it's so cold. I don't even know why it was so cold in my office. Every other room that I walk into is warm, but my office felt like an ice box. I literally was working in my little gloves, typing away. And I kept my hoodie on for a portion of the day because I was like, I can't do this cold. I can't do it. I need to be in the warmth. I'm from the islands. Anybody else out there from a hot country? Put your country of origin, where you're from, your background. Let me know where you guys are from. I'm from Jamaica. My background's Jamaica, but I currently live in Canada and it's freezing right now. It's cold. It's officially winter, winter, winter. The gloves are coming out, the scarves are coming out, the hat, the boots. I just don't like the cold part, but I love boots. So that's probably my favorite part is wearing the boots and the jacket because you got some cute jackets and some cute little booties. I love boots. Guys, I hope you guys are staying warm, being safe, staying healthy, and taking care of yourself, especially during the winter season. It's important for you to still detox, natural vitamins, blend up your ginger and your garlic and drink it. Aloe vera, turmeric. Make sure you guys are taking care of yourselves and being kind to yourselves, especially during the winter season because it's flu season. It is not a nice season. I was cold. I had a flu. I was battling a flu all of last week. It was really bad, and I was trying to get over it because, as you guys know, my dad has cancer. I told you guys, and I cannot get sick because I go around him, and I don't want him to get sick. So I've been taking extra precaution, making sure that I take my vitamins, and I blend up my natural stuff at home, and it's been helping. You know, I don't know. My immune system seems to be a little bit weak because I've been getting sick ever since the winter season started, but I'm getting through it, guys. So, how are you guys doing? Tell me how you're doing. Leave a comment. Leave something for your girl below. I want to know how you guys are doing, how you guys are getting prepared for the Christmas season. Are you guys excited to spend time with your family? Are you guys going away anywhere hot? Somewhere going to go see family, going to have Christmas dinner, you got family that live far away that you guys are going to spend time with, or you guys are just staying, in your countries where you guys live and doing it up. If you're not, that's okay. I know Christmas can be a very tough year for everybody because we've had a pretty rough, I would say, 3 years when COVID hit, and a lot of us, our loved ones have passed on. They're still with us in spirit, but they have passed on, and life never feels the same when we lose a loved one. They're no longer present, and doesn't feel the same. But I want to say, whatever you're going through right now, it's not permanent. It's temporary. You'll get through it, and still have fun, live it up, do something kind for yourself, love yourself extraordinary. And even if you may not have family to spend time with during the holiday season, find somebody, you know, friends, going to shelters and doing something kind, whether it's, giving maybe a small gift or a word of advice, word of encouragement, sitting down with them and just spending a little moment, food, anything that you can do. Find something kind to do in this season. And I really want to hear about it. I really want you guys to come back, leave some comments, and tell me what you did for Christmas, and let's talk about it. Leave questions, comments, or anything below that you guys want me to talk about because I am an open. So, guys, last week's topic we talked about dealing with trauma, relationships, and healing. But there's something that I want to talk about today, and I'm excited to talk about it because when we go through trauma and we go through heartbreak and we go through something unexpected in life and we're trying to heal from it, we become human shields. And when I say human shields, I mean we become like a wall. We put up our own walls and we become that physical wall where we're no longer letting people in. We're like, okay, well, red flag, red flag. I've seen this before. I've dealt with it before. So my antlers are up and I'm not going to deal with it because it looks like what I've been through. And I've had that before in my life where I see something that looks like what it was before. And I'm like, okay, burp, 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 back up. This is not it. You got to exit. So what I want to talk about today is how do we heal and trust again, like heal our trusting, because healing your trusting is a thing. It might not sound like a thing, it might sound weird, but healing your trusting is a thing. Because when you go through um things where people are not loyal, they are dishonest, they hurt you, all the trust is gone. And it's not just for that person, it's everybody, because now you're looking at everybody as they have the potential to hurt you. And of course, everybody has the potential to hurt us. But how do you heal the trusting part and allow yourself to heal again? And I was thinking about it because I connected with a great friend now, and we've been building this friendship and we've been talking about the things that we've gone through with people and how much it hurt us and how much it's hard for us to trust people again. And a couple of times I've had a little bit, I don't even want to call it an argument because it wasn't an argument, it was more so a disagreement. And there was times where we wouldn't speak and she would automatically think, okay, I've had somebody do this to me before, so I know what this is. If she doesn't want to deal with me, then I'm not going to talk to her. I'm just going to push her away now. So there was times where she would send me messages, and the messages were, okay, well, I haven't heard from you all day, so I feel this disconnect, and I don't really need you in my life. And instantly in my head was to respond my way, to respond in a defensive way, and to respond in a way where I'm like, okay, well, why are you attacking me? But instead, I paused for a moment and allow my inner self to speak to me. I allow my spirit of discernment to move within me, because when things happen, we don't use our minds that well. We use our emotions. We don't tap into our spirit of discernment and say, okay, well, really, why is this person behaving this way? Why are you all of a sudden switching up? Why are you all of a sudden speaking a different tone than you were the day before? And I had to allow God to use that spirit of discernment to show me why that person was behaving that way and saying those things and assuming something was happening or something was there that wasn't there. When I took the moment to really realize, okay, wait, this person has been hurt before. This person has gone through people who have been in her life and they've told her that they love her, they're there for her. But then when they stop talking to her for a certain period, it is something. So when she sees it, like, okay, fine, I haven't spoken to her within 24 hours, automatically it's okay. I've experienced this before, and this is what you're giving me. You're giving me the same thing that that person gave to me in the past, and I expected it. So just get out of my life. And instead of responding saying, well, I'm not that person, what I said to her was, I understand that you've been hurt. I understand that you've gone through a lot. I understand that you've experienced certain things. And I understand that trusting is not easy, because all we get is words from people and we have to try to believe their words. But when their actions don't match up to the words, we're kind of like, okay, hold up, what is that all about? So I had to say to her, you know, when there is something that you feel in your spirit or feel in the bottom of your stomach, and you get scared of wanting to continue to build that relationship with me, come to me and talk to me. Because if we're both learning to trust again, we also have to be open to speak to each other and let each other know that, you know what? I am a little bit afraid. And it's okay to say you're afraid. It's okay to let that person know that you're building a new relationship with, that I am afraid of trusting. That certain things that you do, you may not intentionally be doing it, but it triggers me. And it reminds me of past things that I've gone through, and I'm scared. Because a part of learning to trust people again is also being open and honest and letting them know what you've gone through. Because if you don't explain to people what you've gone through, they will never know. They will never understand because they weren't the person that was in the situation. So to them, it's a complete blur until you open that door and say, okay, well, you know what? I'm learning to set my own boundaries. I'm learning to set my own self expectations for myself and for people. And I'm learning to set a standard of relationship that I want, which means, okay, fine. In the past, I had a best friend, and she said certain things to me that I didn't really take as nothing, but then I really figured out after the relationship ended that it was something. So now when you say similar things, I'm already looking at you and saying, okay, well, now you are just like my best friend, and now I'm scared, and now I need to push you away and push you out of my life so I don't have to experience those same pains and those same traumas and those go down memory lane. And I found that in learning to trust people again, you have to be open and you have to give people an opportunity. Of course, we've all been hurt and we don't want to go through that hurt again. But that doesn't mean that we should group everybody in the box and that we should deprive other people and deprive ourselves from experiencing and being loved by genuine, authentic people who want to be in our life, people who got assigned to be in our life. So when you put up those walls, you're delaying the things and the people that God wants you to connect with. And with this friend, I feel something completely different because I'm like, okay, I've never had a friend where we're able to actually talk about the things that we've gone through and talk about, okay, our friendship process. It seems scary because you don't generally walk around meeting people that are just nice, people that are just putting out power words in you, people that are just putting out and willing to sharpen you because they say iron sharpens iron. So it looks scary because when people are naturally nice, it's a red flag to people because the world is filled with so much hate. So we forget that good people do exist. They really do exist. And just because a few bad apples fell off of the tree doesn't mean we have to stop our tree from bearing new fruits and planting new seeds. It's like a relationship. Okay, fine. You know, you dated a girl or a guy and they broke your heart. They told lies, they cheated, they deceived you, they abused you, they did the most to you. You're going to be filled with anger after you leave that person. So much anger to the point where you're like, you know what? I don't want to go through it again. I'm not going through it again. I choose to not go through it again. So now you are not going to date anybody else. You're going to stay by yourself. You're going to do it on your own. You're going to love yourself, not realizing you've put up these walls that you won't even allow yourself to be loved. You won't even allow yourself to be loved in a new, proper, deserving, and connected way. So you've put up these walls where you're like, I can't go through it again. Life is an experience. In life, you're going to go through things. In life, you're going to have heartbreak, betrayals. You're going to feel discouraged. You're going to question the people in your life. And that's where the spirit of discernment comes in because when you connect and you have that spirit of discernment, you are able to see, understand, and learn and allow yourself to go through. You're not going to deprive yourself of living life and exploring and seeing the good sides of other people. Because remember, I've always said this, not everybody was meant to stay in your life permanently. You have to look at life this way. If you look at all the negative, you'll never see the beauty. You have to think about your time with that person and what you gained from them. Even if you didn't learn anything positive from them, you learned something new about yourself. You learned things that you don't like. You learn things that you want to do differently. You learn about new connections that you want to have. Going through people helps you to build a standard that you want for yourself, that you want for your relationships, that you want for your life, that you want for your growth. So you have to go through people so that you continue to learn new things about yourself, new things about people. And in turn, you even learn how you should treat people. Because it's not always about you, it's about other people. How do you make people feel? When you go through people, you start to really start analyzing life and what type of impact you want to leave in people's life. How do you want them to feel when they're around you, when you're no longer in their life? Do you want them to be reminded of all the bad things that you guys have gone through, or when they hear your name, they cringe like, or do you want to be reminded as a vessel, a seed that no matter what anybody did to you, you were still a light in their life? And for me, that is why I don't believe in, you know, taking things into my own hand and being a source of karma, because it's not worth it. It's never worth it to try to hurt somebody or repay them back with the same favor that they did to you, because it doesn't make you any better. It just puts you in the same pool as them. And the reason why I say we have to heal our forgiveness is because you have to heal your forgiveness so that you can flourish into the person that you need to be. Because, if you don't heal your forgiveness, you are always going to be living on this tight edge. You're going to be feeling this tight feeling in the pit of your stomach, like, okay, I can't, I, I can't trust that person. Well, that person looks like my old friend. Oh my gosh, that guy looks like my old boyfriend. You're going to know the red flags when you tap into your spirit of discernment. But you have to allow yourself to get to know people. And when I met this friend, I was a little bit skeptical because I'm like, okay, this 2024, I've had 20, just, oh God, guys, I'm jumping all the way to 2024. Catch me, it's 2023. I've been having, like, people that I never expected to leave my life just scatter and disperse. And I've been, questioning God why. And, when you get an understanding of your purpose and where you're meant to go, you really understand that not everybody was meant to go with you, but also the seasons have to change. It's just like when you go to, like I said before, when you start JK kindergarten, then you have to keep going. You go through grade 1, you go through grade 2, you go to grade 3, you go to grade 12. Then you decide what you want to do. You want to go to trade school, you want to start a business, you want to go to college, you want to go to university. What do you want to do? It's a process in life, and you learn something at every stage. You gain something, you become something at every stage. It's like the stage of crawling. Then you start taking baby steps. Then you start taking stronger steps. Then you start running. It's like speaking. Through everyone, you are taught new things. Through everyone, you get to experience different things. Through everyone, you learn to love in different ways. And through everyone, you get to understand life to a greater level that you've never had the opportunity to learn or understand. I've met a lot of people, and even if it was for a moment in my life that I had them or experienced them or I got to know them, I learned a lot about how people's different minds work, and people's different culture, um, the way that they were raised, their morals, what they were taught, and the cycles that they had to break. We're not perfect. None of us are perfect. No matter what we want to say that, everybody keeps hurting us. We've hurt somebody, and we've all seeked forgiveness. And that's something that I learned, that when I started this new relationship with this person, why should I deprive myself of having great relationships? Why should I deprive myself of being connected to power, to love, to generosity, because a few people wasn't able to do what I wanted to do or give me what I was looking for in them. We always tend to have this high expectation for people where we want things from people without actually telling them. So you start a friendship and you don't tell the friend, well, you know what? I may sound like I'm too much, but I have a list of things that I'm looking for in the friendship. Are you capable of giving it to me? In a relationship, when you start your first relationship or with your partner, you're about to get married, whatever the case may be, do we actually sit down and say, you know what, let's really have a conversation instead of just letting it be, okay, well, we have a few things in common. I'm attracted to you. I think you're a great person. Do we actually sit down and talk to the person and get to know their backgrounds, where they're from, what they went through? What are their expectations? What are they still healing from? Because a lot of times we're also healing from something, but we hide it so well and we're so afraid to tell each other. How many times do you actually sit down and when you're building a new relationship, you ask the other person, what are your expectations for this relationship? What are your expectations from me? Am I capable of living up to it? Do I want to live up to it? Is this type of relationship do I even want? Or are we just starting something just because it sounds right or it's convenient? And that was something new that I've never done with anybody other than, my partner now. Like, we've talked about stuff after the fact, after we were growing and we've done things and we've heard each other. Now we're learning now how to communicate better because we want to be together, we want to grow. But as a friend, now when I have a friend that's saying, hey, I've been through some things, sissy, and I'm saying I've been through some things too, but I want you a part of my life because I believe in your purpose, I believe in your mission, I believe in your business, and I want to be a part of it and I want to support you however you need me to support you. That's a different feeling. You know, we were on the phone one day and we're talking about the things that we want to do and our plans and ideas. And she says, Sissy, we need to sign an NDA. And I paused for a second. And I didn't pause because I felt offended. And I didn't pause because I was confused why she was asking for that. I paused because I said to myself and to God, I've never had anybody say that to me. And, you know, a lot of times we get offended when people say things to us. Like when our friends say, if you ask your friend a question about like an employment, like for example, oh, how much do you make a year? I've heard people say, well, my friend asked me how much do I make a year? And I said to them, I don't feel comfortable with sharing that with you. And one friend was okay with it. The other one was upset. Why were you okay with it? Why were you upset? So instead of asking the question, why are you so upset that I won't share it with you? Well, why are you comfortable with it? The relationship just deteriorated. So when I had somebody sharing their plans and ideas with me, and I'm bouncing my plans and ideas off of her, and she says, we need to sign an NDA. It turned on a light bulb like, God, this is another type of relationship that I've always wanted. Somebody who can listen to my plans and ideas, and you're prepared to make an oath and a promise that you're not going to divulge any information to other people about what I'm sharing with you. And I, in turn, I'm going to do the same thing. And, a lot of times when we start relationships, we forget that we're human and humans make mistakes. And we have to give each other the opportunity to speak. And I never gave I used to just, to be honest with you, I was that person that would just, okay, you did something, you know what you did. I don't need to sit down on the phone with you and explain to you X, Y, and Z what you did because you know what you did. And instead of me listening to you explaining to me why you did it and lie and go around in circles and defend it, I'm just gonna distance myself from you. Was it the right approach? No, it wasn't. But I realized with my own self in the past, I didn't like conflict. I like my balance. I'm a Libra. I like my balance. So I would just leave it as okay, nothing happened between us. It was just distance. But it was still festering because I never got to explain or say something about, why. Why did you do that? Why did you treat me in this way? So I'm learning new things from new connections. And I don't want you guys to deprive yourself from new connections and building friendships because you can learn so much from people. You can learn a lot because people have gone through different walks of life and they've experienced different things that could be knowledge and inspiration for you. So you have to allow yourself to heal all the layers, heal the hurt, heal your mind, heal your heart, heal your spirit, and heal yourself from yourself. Because a lot of times we go through things and we are so angry with ourselves and we say, oh, how could I let this happen? I should have known better. And then we're mad at ourselves. For what reason? It's okay. You're human. And human, we move by the flesh first, not by the spirit. And that's okay. So don't be upset with yourself for allowing yourself to be human. And you have to heal from trust. Heal yourself from trust so that you will allow yourself to be able to trust people. And whatever they do with that trust that you give to them is on them. And you have to believe that. Because when you're loyal and you're genuine to people and they do the opposite of what you're doing, it only reflects on them, not you. Because there are good people out there. And I want you to experience those good people. You deserve to experience the good people. And people need to experience you too, because I think that you, I think that you're phenomenal. I think that you're amazing. I think that anybody would want to be connected or attached to you. But use your spirit of discernment. And if you don't have it, we're going to have an episode soon on how to gain the spirit of discernment. What prayers, fasting, um, words of encouragement you can give to yourself daily, asking God to reveal things to you in the spirit that your eyes may not be able to see in the physical, because it never fails. Sorry. And, starting this new relationship has really taught me something. When you have a great friend in your life, you want to see them win. You want to see them do good. And if you notice that something's just not right, address it. Don't just leave it. I've done it in the past and it doesn't feel good because I've had some great friends where, I questioned why you're behaving like that. Like, what was it that made you start behaving negative to me? And I realized that sometimes people react based on what they're going through. So if you have a friend that sees you doing so great in your life, for example, you're getting engaged, you're planning a wedding, you just started a new company, and the company is booming. Like you're progressing in the company, you're getting promoted, you just had a baby, you have all these things going on for you. And they're in the season of nothing's really happening, and they're in a season of quietness. They're in the season of allowing God to replace and move and do the things that He needs to do for them. Sometimes it comes off as jealousy. It doesn't mean all the time that they don't want you to have what you have, but they're just jealous in a way where they're questioning, well, God, why couldn't it be me? Look at my friend that's doing good. And I'm not going to say jealousy is a great thing, but sometimes people are going through it. And it's better to ask. And once you get your answer and you connect it with your spirit of discernment and you ask God to reveal things, then you move. Allow yourself to heal so you can meet new people and you can align with people who are going to collaborate with you to move into the next journey of your life because you cannot do it alone. You cannot purpose alone. Your assignment cannot be done alone, because sometimes when God has a big calling on your life, He needs to surround a whole team around you. Taking the time to acknowledge that you're hurt and you just don't know how to find the strength to forgive and the strength to learn to trust people again, it's okay. It's a process. It's not going to happen overnight. It took me a while. And even when me and my new friendship that I also love are now, going through different things, we actually sit down and we say to each other, you know what, today I woke up and I'm just like a little bit frustrated. Like I just don't want to be around anybody. I don't want this friendship. And we talk about it. We talk about why. And we explain why. And it feels good. It feels different than any other relationship or friendship that I've ever had. So you may have gone through people and friendships and family that hurt you, but don't deprive yourself of the things that God has for you, the people that God wants to be in your life, because you weren't meant to be alone. You weren't meant to go through this lifing alone, this process alone, healing alone, going through your journey, figuring out who you are, and accepting your calling and your purpose alone. You were not meant to do that alone. And you have to be open and honest with yourself and say, you know what, I'm still going through a process, but I'm willing to go through the process and allow myself to reap new things, new experiences, and new people. Guys, ooh, I'm excited for Christmas. I've met new people and new things, and I'm taking a leap of faith and learning to trust people again. And not only trusting people by myself, but trusting people with God now, with Him at the front and Him directing me and telling me, okay, well, I understand that you've gone through this, and I let you go through it and you're still standing, which means that you're good. So let me show you where I want to take you and who I want to take you with. Do not deprive yourself of the things that you deserve, because you deserve good people in your life. You deserve great things. You deserve to allow yourself to fully heal, and don't allow the people who God has sitting here waiting to do, 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 do. Hello, my name is, and what's your name? Because I think that you and I can collaborate together and do some great things. Do not let the apples, the bad apples, the rotten apples that fell off the tree to stop you from bearing new fruits. You got to bear new fruits. Leaves have to fall off so that new ones can grow. Allow yourself to plant new seeds. Allow yourself to do new things. Allow yourself to set new boundaries and expectations, and be open and honest about those expectations. Don't just start relationships blind eyed saying, well, I started this relationship and I'm loyal to them, so I expect them to be loyal to you. Because your loyalty to somebody doesn't mean that they're going to be loyal to you, because why would they think that they have to be loyal to you? What are you expecting from them? Back in the day, we used to just expect, okay, well, I'm loyal to that friend, so they should just know to be loyal to me because I do everything. I have their back. No, no, no. Sometimes you got to spell it out for them. Spell it right out. Because remember, everybody was raised differently. Everybody's raised in a different household, raised on different morals, raised on different beliefs. And sometimes people have to be taught because they were raised in a disloyal home, disloyal lifestyle. They don't know anything about it. They don't know anything about transparency. They don't know anything about love. They don't know anything about anything. And it's okay to teach each other because we're all a work in progress. Set boundaries and let people know what your boundaries are. Set expectations and let people know what those expectations are as well. what you want, what you need. I expect you to be just as caring and loving as I am to you. And if it's not possible, then maybe the relationship doesn't need to be started. And that's okay, because sometimes people just weren't meant to be a friend or family, or they're just meant to be an acquaintance or somebody that we just might work on a project together, and that's it. And that's okay. So allow yourself to forgive. Allow yourself to forgive trusting people again. Because when you've unforgiven trusting people, you will not allow anybody to come into your life, and you're delaying the purpose and the calling that God has on your life. And you ain't got time for that, honey. So, guys, I hope that you enjoy the rest of your afternoon, your night, your morning, wherever you are in the world. Enjoy the rest of your week. Until next time, I'm your host, Jen Simpson. Bye. Mwah.
Phenomenous. Cold ink.